Well, I do have to say, the Steelers did surprise me today. Not because they won, but because they did it well. Like, they had a pretty good win. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a dominating win. I mean, I know they won 27-3, but, like, the Steelers scored no points in the first quarter. They're actually losing 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then they scored 0 points in the third quarter as well. So, it was a great win, a 27-3 win, where your defense only allows 3 points and gets 4 interceptions, two of them by Minka Fitzpatrick and two of them by Terrell Edmonds. That's a very, very great performance by the defense. The defense did amazing today. The offense, on the other hand, did good, but not as great as I'd want them to against a 1-8 team. They'd scored 27 points. If we had a crap defense and if Jake Luton didn't throw all those interceptions, it probably would have been one of those close games that stresses me out and then I get upset. Didn't happen today. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the game because where I live, it wasn't being aired on TV, so I had to pay attention to it on ESPN on my phone and stuff like that. I couldn't pay attention to the whole time because I had to help my dad get a freezer and build it. Actually, no, not we had to buy a shelf and build it and then set up a freezer for downstairs in the basement. And then I got done with that and then I started paying attention to it and then I watched highlight video for it after the game. So I know what happens. Great game by the defense today. This defense needs to show up again next week for Thanksgiving when the Steelers take on their bitter rival Baltimore Ravens at home. Now, the Ravens are, I'm going to be honest, the Ravens are not as good as I initially thought they were going to be. Going into the season, I had the Ravens being like 13-3 and winning the division. And that is obviously most likely not going to happen. They're not going to go 13-3. They still have a shot of winning the division, but for that to happen, the Ravens would have to win 4 games in a row, and the Steelers would have to lose 4 games in a row. That's very unlikely. The Ravens lost today after they fell to the Tennessee Titans in overtime, despite having a 21-10 lead. They let the Ravens come back and win, and that put the Ravens far behind in the division, and so far that the Ravens are now in 3rd place in the AFC North. The Browns took 2nd place after their win against the Eagles today. The Steelers are 3 games ahead in the division as they're 10-0, and the 2nd place team, the Browns, are 7-3. The Ravens are in 3rd place at 6-4, and the Bengals are in last at 2-7-1. And bad news for Bengals as starting quarterback Joe Burrow has suffered a season-ending knee injury and will not return until next season. So Ryan Finley will have to lead the Bengals to greatness. The Bengals only have 2 wins, and they came against who did they beat? They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. They somehow beat the Titans. I don't know how they beat. How did the Titans lose to the Bengals and beat the Ravens? That doesn't make sense to me, but anyway, so next week's game against Baltimore, I'm predicting that the Steelers are going to win. It's probably going to be a close game. I hope the Steelers show up and have an amazing, dominant performance on both sides of the field. If the Steelers are 10-0 now, they still haven't lost a game yet. They're 10-0 for the first time ever. They have not lost a game. Even if I predicted the Steelers to do good, I would at least have some losses. I had the Steelers going 8-8 this year. So far, they're 10-0. And it's impossible for the Steelers to have a losing record because if they lose every single game for the rest of the year, they'll be 10-6. And I think the Steelers are in a really good place right now. I'm happy with Mike Tomlin. I'm not happy with Randy Fichtner. I just don't like not him as a person. I just don't like his play calls. I just think that he has really dumb calls. He always likes to run the same play with James Conner or Benny Snell that doesn't work. It's like, oh, it's been proven multiple times that running to the side doesn't work. So how about we do that twice on 1st and 20? That's what they did last week in Cincinnati. And it's like I don't understand. Defense, Steelers defense, like I said before, did amazing today. They got me 17. They got me 16 points on fantasy. I started them today. Luckily, I did because the other defense I have is the Colts, and they only got 7. What else happened in the league? Chargers beat the Jets. Chargers almost choked again. What a shocker. Jets are 0-10. They still have not won a game. Let's see. The Bills had a bye week. The Dolphins lost to the Broncos. The Patriots lost to the Texans. I already said Bengals lost to Washington. Browns lost to Eagles. The Jaguars lost to Steelers. The Chiefs and the Raiders are playing right now. There's about 6:15 left of the fourth. The Raiders have a 3-point lead, 24-21. So the Giants didn't play this week. Cowboys finally got another win. They beat the Vikings today. Packers lost to the Colts. Heartbreaking loss for the Packers, considering that the Packers had a 28-14 lead at halftime, then would lose the game in overtime. And the Chiefs just scored a touchdown. They take the lead. The Bears didn't play this week. The Lions got shut out. They lost 20-0 to the Panthers. It's the first time the Panthers shut out someone since 2015. The Saints played and beat the Falcons with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill did pretty good, replacing for Drew Brees. The Buccaneers play the Rams tomorrow night. And the Cardinals lost to the Seahawks back on Thursday. And the 49ers don't play this week. So that's basically what happened this week. Overall, Steelers are a very good football team this year, in case you didn't know. Chiefs just made PAT. Chiefs are up 28-24, 5:54 left of the fourth. I have Steelers should be good. I feel like the one thing, like if the Steelers lose instantly in the playoffs, it's going to be the offense not being able to do anything. The defense, I have no doubt in the Steelers' defense. There's some times where they have a bad game, like they played like crap against the Eagles. They played bad against the Cowboys. But there's a lot of times that Steelers defense, the Steel Curtain, they do amazing, and they really showed that today. Predictions for Thursday's game. I have the Steelers winning. It's going to be a close game like last time. It'll probably be like probably along the lines of like a 31-28 victory, 31-27, that kind of thing. It's going to be a close game, hard-fought battle between both teams. I know that there are some Ravens fans out there that don't have faith in the Ravens anymore and think they're going to get blown out on Thursday. Just remember you're playing the Steelers. I understand the Steelers are 10-0, but you have to remember the Steelers don't like blowing out good teams. They don't like blowing out bad teams either. They did today, and last week, but it's going to be a close game, but I still have the Steelers come on top. It'll be a good Thanksgiving treat for me at least, not for Ravens fans. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you next time. Goodbye.